Dear English learners, welcome back to the English Sleep podcast. Your go-to English podcast for learning English how to live with more confidence. I'm Aaron and I'm Evan. Let's be real. How many times you stopped yourself doing something just because you are worried about what other people might think? Oh, too many to count. Whether speaking English out loud, wearing something different, or just being foolish yourself. Though invisible and can feel so heavy. Yeah, it's like living in the case building other people's stuff. But here's the truth. Most of us, they're not even real. Today's episode is about breaking that pattern. You're going to deep how to stop caring that people think of you and start showing you as you. Mhm. We're not talking about being congruent careless. We talk about can be free. Free to speak, grow, and make mistakes, and still understand talk. And like always, it's this episode back with real English you can use. We create a free PDF guides with all the key points, comprehension questions, and grammar exercise, so you can grow your mindset and your language skills and side by side. You'll find the link in the description. Download it, save it, and use it like the says, made to think, feel, and learn. And don't go anywhere. Strong legs with any vocabulary breakdown shall help you break down and bold of emotional words so you can start using with confidence. Alright, let's dive in. Because it's time to stop living to ground and start living for you. Couldn't agree more. And it's more or later than we think. Those small moments that teach us to screen ourselves just fit in. You know, Evan, before you will realize it, you talk to look around for approval. Like in school, raise your hand, gra- give the wrong answers, and suddenly you jog a day. That fear, it lingers. It seeps into adulthood. And for many of us, especially language learners, this become invisible wall. Yeah, totally. I remember being in class and answering something in broken English. A few people giggle. It was harmless, maybe, but it plain something. From that day, I started filtering everything I said. I was trying to sound perfect instead of just being myself. That's the thing. This fear doesn't show up one day. It's embedded from such a young age. We don't even question it anymore. It's like we're carrying invisible ground on our shoulders, constantly whispering what not to do. And that ground, most of us are imaginary. And yet, we listen to them more than we listen to ourselves. It keeps us quiet and we should speak. It keeps us anxious when we should just present. English learners, think of your mistakes like typers in the text message. No one really cares as much you think. Seriously, you don't stop reading a text because you typo, right? So don't stop you think speaking because you most mistake. And you know what even more fun? Realize that's not true. People are too caught up in your own words to be fixed on yours. This was a game changer for me. I used to think everyone noticed I mispronouncing a word or paused too long during the sentence. But one day I realized people are preoccupied with themselves, their worries, their insecurities. Exactly. It's like this. We think are under spotlight, but everyone like just adjusting their own light. They're not analyzing everywhere move. They're worrying about their own performance. You're not protagonist in the story. You may be a background person by text. Why I realize that? Let's take a pressure off. I start experimenting with new phrases. I stumble through conversations and no one laughs. Most didn't notice. When you let go the fears of being watched, your confidence will quietly, like a seed that just need a little space. The spoiler is with fear is with freedom. So, English learners, if you've been quiet in class and hesitating to speak up, it's true. Most people won't even notice it themselves. They will notice your courage. Speak up. Be bold, even just little. It's time to do. It's time reminder to be seen. And speak of being seen, sometimes people they say things. They may criticize your actions or point out mistakes. But here's the thing we need to remember. Oh, this one hit me hard. For the longest times, I cared about every relatively true. Someone once told me, your English is a bit weird. And that's echoed my head for years. That's painful. But when I've been there too, I used to internalize everything being said, especially negative stuff. But I slowly learned what someone says often says more about than they do about you. Exactly. Their judgments are often a projection on their own insecurities, their own limited thinking. If someone marks your accent, it might be because never had a guts to learn the second language themselves. And when you see it that way, it loses its power. You stop reacting to comments and start owning your voice. Our English learners, your accent, that's not something to hide. That's a proof you're brave enough to hold new ways expressing yourself. You're brave enough to learn the whole new way expressing yourself. Where is Bryce? Every syllable you speak step forward, and if someone's bothered by it, that's their story, not yours. Yes. And you know what? The moment you stop performing for others, you start growing for yourself. It's wild how much energy we waste trying to impress properly and even pay attention. When I started caring less about sharing smart and more about actually asking questions, my growth skyrocketed. Real progress came that I gave myself permission to stay uncertain, to be curious, to not have it all figured out. Totally. I remember sitting in the workshop. Everyone really like they understood, and I was so lost. I hesitated to ask, thinking I looked foolish. But then someone else, and I realized that half the room were the same. That moment, liberating. It's a misconception that confidence comes to knowing everything. Nah, it's come from embracing discomforts and not learning into it anyway. And English learners, this one for you. Growth doesn't come from hiding your questions. It comes from asking them, even the basic one. Don't hold back because something simple. Asking, what does this word mean? Is bravery pretending to understand. Curiosity is your real superpower. And you know the holds people back from kind of growth? This sneaky little life, they need to be perfect first. No, perfection is the goal, is the excuse. Think of it this way. You don't learn to swim by reading about water. You learn by getting wet, by flailing, kicking, swallowing a little water, and getting better. Exactly. Perfection sounds nice, but it's paralyzing. It's convincing you until you're ready, but that day never comes. Meanwhile, progress is messy, noisy, full of mistakes, and totally worth it. I used to delay speaking English because I want to my grammar to be perfect. But ironically, my grammar only improved after I started speaking. Mistakes were stepping stones. So here's the shift. Don't aim to be flawless. Aim to be fearless enough to begin. Yeah. Practice your English before you feel ready. Talk to a friend. Leave a voice note, join a small group. The goal is perfection. It's momentum. It's bringing us to truth about confidence. Most of people something you're born with. It's not. Confidence isn't a gift, it's a practice. You build it, you strengthen it. The same way you muscle is stronger at the gym. The more you use it, the more you show up when you need it. Oh yes. I used to watch confidence become speaking English and think, then wow, they must have it. But they didn't. They just show up more often. They put in the breath. Daily small actions make me confidence their fault. So don't wait for courage to magically arrive. Create it one small brave move at a time. Say hi someone. Join a conversation thread online. Share your thoughts. Even type a sentence. Believe it or not, confidence grows in tiny moments. Speak out loud or you read. Record yourself. Comment on video English. Thus, you're letting the confidence wait. Totally. And that's when confidence starts to build. Here's the next step replacing fears with curiosity. Because fears hold you back. But curiosity, it invites you to grow. It's the difference between freezing up and learning. Yes, first ask, what if I mess it? Curiosity asks, what could I discover? What is that shift? They completely reframe how you receive every conversations. You go from feeling judged to feeling intrigued. I used to overthink every sentence before speaking, worry about I sound silly or make some mistakes. But when you start approaching conversations like an experience, things change. I think let's just try this. Let's see how people respond. And funnily enough, people respond better because I was present, more real. Exactly. Curiosity is often the pressure. It turns your focus how do I look for, to what can I learn? You start with others are critic and start seeing a part of your life journey. And the more curious you become, the less failure sitting. Because now, even a slip up becomes data, not drama. And here's the thing simple to try. Next time you speak English, instead of judging yourself afterwards, ask, what surprised me? Or what worked well? That's curiosity in action. And it's way more powerful than a self criticism. I love that. Shift the focus from did I mess up to what did I learn? That's the real growth ideas. What did I learn? That's where the real growth. Hey, if you've been wondering about some words you used today, Charles got you back. She heard the breakdown field today, trigger words impresses. So you can not only understand, but start using with confidence. Charlotte, the mic is yours. Hey friends, it's Charlotte. Welcome to your vocabulary breakdown. Let's unpack some of the powerful words you heard in today's episode. Ready? Let's go. Linger, meaning to stay longer than expected. Example, the sense of fresh coffee lingers in the kitchen even after breakfast. Sip, meaning to flow slowly through small openings. Example, water can seep through grassy walls and rains heavily. Giggle, meaning to laugh lightly in a silly or nervous way. Example, the children giggle at a friendly cartoon. Embed, meaning to firmly fix something into another thing. Example, good habits embedded themselves in your routine over time. Typo, meaning a small mistakes in typing. Example, there's a word typo in the final report, but are no notice. Preoccupy, meaning to feel the mindset so much other things in ignore. Example, worry about meeting preoccupy his mind all day. Insecure, insecurity, lack of confidence or insurance. Example, his inquiries make him hesitate to speak up. Protagonist, meaning the main character in a story or situation. Example, she feels like a protagonist of her own life story. Passerby, meaning someone who's passing by casually. Example, a kind passerby helping an old man cross the street. Criticize, meaning to point out faults or mistakes. Example, instead of, instead of criticizing, trying to offer helpful suggestions. Critique, meaning to review or analyze something carefully. Example, the teacher asked the students to critique each other's essays. Liberate, meaning to set someone free. Example, speaking your mind can liberate from fear. 12. Meaning to move widely or clumsily. Example, he flaps his arms when we slip on the ice. Swallow, to make food or drink go down the throat. Example, she was she's ironic, meaning something happened with an opposite way than expect, often emotionally. Example, ironic that the fire scarring caught on fire. Default, meaning the usual casual choice when your alternative is met. Example, English became his default language after leaving abroad. Sting, meaning to cause a sharp pain or hurt feeling. Example, his shoes gone through constant days later. Slip up, meaning a small mistake or error. Example, forgetting his homeworks were just small slip up. That's all for today breakdown. Remember, the more curious you are about new words, the more confident you become using them. Back to you, Erin and Evan. Thanks, Charlotte, for always makes me Kendrick words feel a little scary. Yeah, seriously. It's like having a secret weapon for learning English. And speaking of powerful tools, if today's episode you get your one aha moment, don't just keep in your head, put into the practice. Absolutely. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. It's to show off, speak up, and live a little louder without worrying about invisible ground. We're proud of you and every step you're taking, and we'll be right here, sharing your own very live on way. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next episode of the English Sleep Podcast.